You know, guys, there's a question that's been puzzling me for a very long time. I always ask myself, who is the strongest character in the Cartoon Network universe? Is it Pops from Regular Show? Is it Prismo from Adventure Time? Or Aku from Samurai Jack? So many characters come to mind, without me knowing who could possibly rule Cartoon Network. Then, in just a few moments, I realized there are characters like Uncle Grandpa, Alien X from Ben 10, and also Golp from Adventure Time. How can I even begin to grasp this? Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new series on the channel, which will be known as Cartoon Gladiators Duel, or CGD. In this series, we'll analyze and observe two cartoon characters battling it out for your enjoyment, and find out who the lucky duelist is who gets to claim the gladiator belt. And today, we have two rather heavyweights. On the right, we have your uncle and grandpa at the same time, Uncle Grandpa, and on the left, we have the unknown entity, Golb. Alright, find a comfortable spot to watch outside the arena, because things are about to get serious. As you know, the Uncle Grandpa cartoon is a bit silly. It doesn't take itself seriously, unlike cartoons such as Ben 10 or Adventure Time. You might think at first that comparing him to an entity like Golb is foolish, but that's just the beginning. In a little while, I'll change your perspective on this character by 180 degrees. Because Uncle Grandpa's character and his abilities might be the very thing that keeps his world existing in the first place, and makes it unserious in reality. This leads us to a cosmic question. Who is Uncle Grandpa? Is he your uncle? Is he your grandpa? Who is this strange character? Unfortunately, the cartoon doesn't answer this question directly, but after a long search, I managed to solve the mystery of this character. From the outside, Uncle Grandpa seems like an ordinary human being. He has a face, 2 hands, and 2 legs. But once we get to know him well, we realize that this person cannot be human. Essentially, Uncle Grandpa is a mythical figure just like Santa Claus. And, by the way, they are brothers in the cartoon. Just as Santa travels the world to deliver gifts to children, Uncle Grandpa travels the world to help children solve their problems. If we pay a little attention to Uncle Grandpa's words in the cartoon, he always refers to himself as a normal human who managed to learn magic. He even was a child in the past, and he even went to high school. But is that true? I don't think so. Because he could easily be lying to us and creating those strange stories from his head, because he's not serious. Not serious with unbelievable powers. Among the common abilities that Uncle Grandpa demonstrates in the cartoon is partial dismemberment. I just invented that word. He can easily move his severed body parts. He can even hold his head in his hands without anything happening to him. That's a bit gross, but it's cool. There's another ability that allows him to do many things simultaneously. He can simply duplicate himself endlessly, letting his copies work like slaves. Furthermore, these copies possess the same power as Uncle Grandpa because they are self-aware duplicates, meaning that even if the original Uncle Grandpa is destroyed, he can simply summon a new one. Literally, he's an immortal. And thanks to this, Uncle Grandpa is a difficult character to defeat, because even if you have the necessary strength to destroy him, you would have to destroy all his copies in the entire universe. This reminds me that Uncle Grandpa exists everywhere and at all times as well. Even the ancient Egyptians knew who this person was. The extent of this power's range is unknown, but as mentioned in the cartoon, he was even able to come out into our real world, where thanks to this ability, he was able to adopt the giant real tiger from our real world. And you'll soon learn how it can fly by shooting rainbows from its rear end. Uncle Grandpa truly has no limits, except for his own boundless imagination. The correct comparison for him would be Mr. Mxyzptlk from DC, the 5th-dimensional being who no one in the DC universe can defeat except himself. You have to make him say his name backward for him to leave you alone. This made me ask, is Uncle Grandpa a 5th-dimensional being? And was he lying to us all this time about his past? I wouldn't have believed this if I hadn't watched the episode, Gift for Gus, where Uncle Grandpa didn't just state he was a 5th-dimensional being, but he said he is reality itself.
Of course, if you can answer this simple question, what is reality? I'm reality!
I won't lie to you, this is heavy, very heavy. I believe this explains his ability to manipulate reality. And I think that if Uncle Grandpa wasn't present in his world, we wouldn't see Mr. Gus, a Godzilla dinosaur, talking, or a magnificent pizza always showing off, or a tiger shooting rainbows from its rear end to fly. It's clear that he always subtly affects his surroundings with his power. Even the children he visits aren't safe from this. A boy who's insecure because he's fat. Boom. Uncle Grandpa teaches him how to use his belly as a fist to defeat a pack of wild wolves and teaches him to love his body. A girl who's afraid of the dark. Bam. Uncle Grandpa turns her into a terrifying monster to overcome her fears. And since we're talking about the children Uncle Grandpa has helped, let me bring something to your attention and tell you that Uncle Grandpa didn't just help children in his own world. He reached a level of helping children outside of multiple universes, outside of the multiverse. This means he can travel through the Omniverse to other cartoon worlds, where he went to Steven Universe's world to help him master summoning his shield. And while he was there, guess what he did? He chopped off Steven's head and all the gems' heads and made them orbit the Earth, and that was the gems' reaction afterwards.
My head is on backwards!
Oh my god, this is truly terrifying. And not only that, because you haven't heard what the gems called him afterwards.
Gem Huddle!
Obviously, we're dealing with some super powerful reality warping entity.
He could be a danger to the fabric of space itself.
We are dealing with a being that is both realistic and supernatural, and could be a danger to the very fabric of space. Yes, this is what we mentioned at the beginning, and now it has been confirmed by the gems themselves. And let me tell you, the matter didn't end there. In the final episode, after Uncle Grandpa helped Steven master summoning his shield, we then see a list of children Uncle Grandpa helped outside the multiple universes, and as you can see and hear, the list speaks for itself.
Dexter, Didi, Blossom, Bubbles, Buttercup, Ed, Eddie, Billy, Mandy, Mac, Juniper, Swatcat, Flapjack, Finn. Oh, Steven!
Wait a minute. Did I hear Uncle Grandpa say Finn's name? Finn from Adventure Time? So Uncle Grandpa has previously been to the world of Adventure Time. Therefore, he knows this world well, its universes, and its entities. So he knows who Golb is, or at least has an idea of what he might be. Well, this will be useful for us later. And we're not done yet, because Uncle Grandpa surprises me every time with something completely new. Because at the end of an episode called Pizza Eve, Uncle Grandpa didn't just meet one character from outside his world, or two, or three, but an entire audience of Cartoon Network characters. We see Ben 10, Steven Universe, Finn and Jake, Samurai Jack. You'll see all the characters. And guess who gathered them in one place against their will? It's Uncle Grandpa, the only person capable of doing something like this. I won't lie to you, Alien X wouldn't be able to do this. And let me conclude for you the extent of this character's power, with powers that no other character from the Cartoon Network universe possesses. The ability to communicate and somewhat control the real world. Yes, the world we live in, and the awareness that he is just a drawn character by an author. You might say that many characters from the Cartoon Network universe can do that, like Gumball and Darwin with their awareness that they are cartoons, or Teen Titans Go, by breaking the fourth wall at times. But despite this, I believe they wouldn't reach Uncle Grandpa's level, because he reached the level of surviving death from the producers who own his rights, surviving the cancellation of his own series which was cancelled after Warner Brothers merged with Discovery, by moving to Steven Universe's world. I am absolutely sure that very few fictional characters in history have been able to do such a thing. And let me not even start comparing him with the person who created him in the first place. Let's keep that between us. So, with all these tremendous and amazing powers, is there a weakness to this character? In reality, this question is difficult to answer, because we have never seen Uncle Grandpa suffer significant harm or come close to death in the cartoon. He always gets out of difficulties easily. Perhaps we can say that he is naive and can be easily tricked. This could be a major weakness against some people, because even though his external appearance seems like an adult man with a wife and children, or a grandpa with grandchildren, Uncle Grandpa internally has the mind of a 6-year-old child. That's clear. Alright, Golb. Who is this monstrous, giant baby-like entity with a cube face, a pyramidal head, square eyes, a purple tongue, small orange claws, pointed teeth, and a cube belly? Who is Golb? Unlike Uncle Grandpa, whom we always see in the cartoon as he is the hero of the story, Golb appeared only about 3 times throughout the Adventure Time series and Fiona and Cake cartoon. That's why we know little about him. The first time we get a glimpse of this person is in the episode Pahoy, where old Finn ran into him after coming out of the pillow world, as if he was just an ordinary thing. He just looked at Finn. He's just a creature enjoying the air in the void.
157 episodes later.
Oh my god, this is terrifyingly long. I'll show you after the war ends. Alright, Golb truly possesses serious powers up his sleeve. I mean, he can traverse dimensions and open portals across the multiverse like it's nothing. He can transform living beings into monsters and merge them together just by exhaling the foul odor of his teeth. Yes, with just one puff from his mouth, he can turn an entire army into an immortal monster under his command. And if you think that's crazy, he can also make people or things disappear from existence just by devouring them. I mean, not just disappear from one universe, but disappear from all multiple universes, just like he did with the Magic Man's wife. He kidnapped her and hid her in a place no one could reach. Even the Magic Man, who traveled to all universes and dimensions searching for her, couldn't find her. He even reached the point of going to Prismo to wish for her return, but the wish wasn't granted, because Golb's power surpasses Prismo's to unbelievable levels. And if you think you can harm this person with some powerful physical or magical attacks, think again, because he can withstand all these attacks without exerting any effort, except for one thing, which can harm him, and we'll find out about it soon. And do you remember the Lich, the terrifying entity who killed Billy, Prismo, and Death itself, and many other characters, and was the main cause of anything bad that happened in the world of Adventure Time? Yes, that Lich, Golb, or Betty Golb, defeated him with just one terrifying look from afar, and turned him into a strange statue orbiting him like a moon. Personally, for me, it was a terrifying and funny scene at the same time. And let me also tell you that he is present almost everywhere as well, because he exists wherever chaos exists, as Simon said.
I keep seeing reference to this mysterious entity that embodies chaos. His presence is felt in every crevice where chaos lurks.
And he existed before the beginning of the multiverse in the Adventure Time world, as his last disciple, the Lich, told us. And he was respected and feared afterwards by the creatures who knew of his existence. I will not call him God of this world, because I don't think he is the person who created the Adventure Time world. I think Golb is just a guardian of nature's balance. He is the one who maintains the order of the cosmos, and he guides or punishes the universes that have lost their way, and he does not intervene unless someone tries to break the laws of nature by committing a cosmic crime, like Betty did in the last episode. Because even though we saw her as if she summoned Golb, we don't know how she summoned him. We only saw her perform this strange dance, and boom, Golb appears. And here comes the theory of cosmic crime. I think that even the Magic Man's wife, Golb, didn't kidnap her for nothing. I think she did something illegal in his eyes, and that's why he kidnapped her. In conclusion, Golb is a character who is neither evil nor good. He is in a gray area. He exists wherever chaos exists, because he must maintain order in that chaos, even if he has to create it himself to stop it, as we saw in the last episode. And this remains only a theory invented by my brain, so do not take it as a reference for yourselves, because as Simon said, he is the embodiment of chaos. This is what that book mentioned, and perhaps he may be right or wrong too. The important thing is that this remains only a theory. And of course, our heroes couldn't handle him at first. So how did they manage to get out of this predicament, and how will Golb, in parentheses, be defeated by someone who lacks the necessary power to face him? Well, you remember when I told you there was a weakness that would play a big role in the end? So, here we are. In the midst of the great final battle, BMO plays a legendary role in the battle by overcoming Golb's defenses, by playing or singing an emotional tune that managed to carve a large hole in Golb, leading directly to his cubic belly, which was enough to allow Finn and Simon to escape from him. So you might say that music from the heart somewhat affects Golb, but not only that. Because after Betty wished to keep Simon safe even without the crown, the wish came true, and she was able to merge with the cosmic entity after he digested her, and convinced him to leave the land of Ooo, saving the entire world in the process. So what did we learn from that? That if Golb digests you, you will completely merge with him, and music from the heart can also affect him. These are his weaknesses that we saw in the show. Alright, we'll put all this information into the blender, and we'll analyze the situation to find out who the winner is. Is it the silly Uncle Grandpa or the demonic baby Golb? So, by God, how can these two characters meet to fight? Well, we know that both characters can travel through dimensions, or rather, through the multiverse to different cartoon worlds. Golb exists wherever chaos exists, and Uncle Grandpa exists wherever there is a child who needs help. So let's simplify the matter with a light story of my own invention. As you know, Uncle Grandpa visited Finn the human in the past, and as you know, wherever this old man goes, he must always cause massive chaos in that place. Let's imagine that Uncle Grandpa committed a cosmic crime in the world of Adventure Time while he was helping Finn, and Golb appeared immediately afterwards to punish him, and the battle between them begins. So who will be the winner? With all due respect to the fans of both characters, Uncle Grandpa will win the battle. Even though we mentioned that if Golb beats you, you will disappear from existence in all universes, Uncle Grandpa cannot be defeated, because his copies might even exist in our real world. How can Golb defeat a being who can challenge the producers who own his rights in the first place, who can delete him from existence? With all due respect to Sheikh Golb, I don't think he can challenge the producers. So you might ask how Uncle Grandpa can defeat Golb. Simple. First, Uncle Grandpa was a musician in the past, as we heard him say in the episode where he met Steven Universe.
Did you used to be a rock star?
I'm still a rock star, kid.
Second, wherever Uncle Grandpa goes, he can manipulate his surroundings' reality, meaning he can do anything and fulfill any wish using his infinite imagination. So he can easily defeat Golb either by singing a cosmic tune that erases Golb from existence, or even by entering his stomach and merging with him completely and transforming into a being who can rule the real world, not just the Cartoon Network world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Grandpa gets the Gladiator belt in this duel. Perhaps I might be wrong or right in my judgment of the duel. The important thing is that this remains only a fictional battle invented by my brain. But let me ask you, can Uncle Grandpa get the Gladiator belt against characters like Alien X from Ben 10 or Bliss? Anyway, tell me your opinions in the comments, and which two characters you want me to pit against each other in the next episode of CGD. See you!